nobody, They change on me. I ride around untouched, Won't need catch a stain on me. Built from the mud up now, yeah. So you know they hate on me. So much make my price real deep. They say I got it safe on me. Trust nobody, See these niggas, they change on me. I ride around untouched, Won't need catch a stain on me. Built from the mud up now, yeah. So you know they no. They don't call me sad for nothing. Long live the greatest. Trust nobody, See they change on me. I ride around untouched,
How are you today?
No, you're fine. I'm good. How are you?
I'm pretty good. Thank you. Look very beautiful.
Thank you. You do too.
Thank you. So, for everyone who may be joining, I just wanted to introduce what I pretty much do. So, my name is Shaniya. I'm an author. Some people may know me as Bias Sav. From my music. So as everyone knows, this will be going on my YouTube channel, and I just interview different people. What I'm doing is called Grind Talk. So basically, I interview authors, I have actors, I have a celebrity makeup artist, celebrity hairstylist coming. Just everyone who's on the grind. So really quick, I just want to tell everybody my decor line have dropped. This is one of my bathroom sets behind me, and then also to download my app, Author Shaniya Dennis, where you'll be able to purchase my books, contact me directly, go to my YouTube channel, go to my TikTok, and everything else. Today we have a very special guest. She's an author, a beautiful author, P.Wise. So yeah, let's go start with you introducing yourself, just telling people a little bit about yourself, where you're from.
Hi, my name is P.Wise, Pretty Wise. I'm from Brooklyn, New York.
Okay.
Originally from Trinidad and Tobago. 27 years young.
Okay.
Mother of one.
Okay.
My baby.
Yeah.
She gotta be on here with me.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of happy she's here because it shows the real, like, this is the life of, a mom.
Right.
And an entrepreneur or authors who have.
Right.
So I'm a basketball fanatic. I'm in the sports industry. Went to school, played ball my whole life, college and everything, and got my degree in sports management and business. So yeah, that's a little bit about me.
Well, it's a blessing to have you here today with me. I'm very honored. Your daughter is very beautiful.
Thank you.
And big shout out to New York. My mom and my siblings are actually from Syracuse, so I lived down there for a little bit. So, so first thing first, let's start with like your childhood. Let just people know like how it was for you growing up. A lot of people may not be from Brooklyn. Like, so how was it growing up in Brooklyn?
Oh no, it was hard. It was rough. It's tough. The streets of Brooklyn. If you're from Brooklyn or even heard a little bit of Brooklyn, it's the concrete jungle. That's New York in general. It was a lot of opportunities, but also it was a lot of temptation, a lot of struggle. But I loved it growing up. I had my tough times. I experienced a lot of trauma. I endured a lot, but I made it through.
Right. Right.
It taught me a lot.
So how long have you been writing books for?
Well, this is my first book that we're going to even speak about. This is my debut.
Congrats.
Thank you. But I had actually wrote the book while I was in prison.
Okay.
So, yeah, I wrote it while I was in there, came home, perfected it, and linked up with Tina J at Tina J Presents. Shout out to my publisher.
Big shout out to her.
And I told her my vision, and we brought it to life.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
I know like it's not easy to write a book. I remember the headache of writing my very first book. It was a lot. It was a lot. And then I also want to let you know, any questions that you don't want to answer, of course, you don't have to. But I know that you said that you wrote it while you were in prison. It's a lot of people, like young people, who will be watching. And some people live like a crazy lifestyle and never been to jail before, never experienced. So can you kind of give insight, like maybe some crazy things you experienced with like being in prison, or how it was being in prison and trying to write a book? I know that was hard within itself.
Definitely. So first of all, going in, I was just like so scared. I don't care how tough I am, how many people I done beat up, how many, you know what I mean? Like prison, jail is a whole nother world.
Right.
So going in, I was scared, and people tell me stories. Mind you, I even try to binge watch Orange is the New Black. Don't ask me why,
Yeah.
but so but it was a lot of cutthroat, especially dealing with a lot of females.
Right.
She said this, she said that, she this and that, and twisting stories and this and that. It was a lot of jealousy. It's a lot of people where you couldn't even speak on positive things because they will feel like you're bragging. You know what I mean? And then that's when they'll just start, oh, she thinks she this and she thinks she that and all that,
Yeah.
other stuff. Um, and if somebody like you and the girlfriend thinks they like you, all types of stuff like that. Even at one point, I was set up.
Yeah.
Well, almost set up. I caught it. This girl thought that I liked her girlfriend. Well, she thought her girlfriend liked me or whatever the case may be.
Right.
Mind you, it's my Muslim sister, and she was just like so high on it, and I'm just like, good. Like I don't like her. I'm cool,
Right.
And long story short, I was looking for something around my locker,
Mhm.
and I reached in the back to get it, and I found drugs. I
Wow.
found pills in an envelope. So like a whole bunch. And I'm just like, what are these? Like I don't do drugs, I don't pop pills, I
Right.
don't do none of that. I was taking my medication,
Right.
but I know what my medication looked like. You get what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like so when I looked at it, I'm like, I was only at it with one person. It doesn't take a rocket
Right.
scientist to figure certain things out.
What's the
It was
craziest like thing? I mean, that was pretty crazy, just that alone. But what's like another crazy story with being in prison that you had to experience? That you had
I'm gonna be
experienced.
okay. I'm gonna be real with you. Girls in here, they look like guys. It's some of them.
Okay.
They're
Yeah.
transgenders, and they're taking, the medications and getting the shots and stuff like that. And they look like straight up men. So
Yeah.
you wouldn't even think you would walk past them on the street and think they're a nigga. And basically, I end up being roommates with one,
Okay.
and he just started being. We call them he's because that's
Yeah.
what they're,
Right.
identifies
Right.
as. So he started being very like want to be in control of what I do, who I hang out with, all this. And mind you, I don't like it. It was
Yeah.
nothing like that.
Yeah.
And I got cool with another stud, which is my best friend even to this day.
Yeah.
And he came by my room looking for me, and then he left. So then the guy that I was staying with, he was like, "What I told you about any of these niggas coming to my room? I don't want none of them here." Blah blah blah. Okay, that turned left real quick. He has nothing to lose. I still
Right.
had a date to go home to my
Right.
family. You know what I mean? I still had a future. This person is like, okay, he could probably like bang me up real badly and don't give two shits.
Right.
Even if he had time added on time that's never ending. You get
Right.
what I'm saying? So like that whole experience, like alone, was crazy. He was like chasing me down the hall, yelling down the hall to people, "Oh, only God can help you," and everything. And it's like it was so serious, and people even feared for me. I guess they were sending cop outs to like the lieutenants and stuff like that. Like, listen, the boy K is in here because they called me K inside too. They called, and his name was K. So they was like, the boy K is harassing the girl K and blah blah blah. And girl, they came and locked both of us up. We went to the hole.
Wow. Did you go into prison like knowing that you wanted to write books, or is that just something that you decided when you were incarcerated?
I decided that when I was incarcerated,
Okay.
because uh, I used to write. I was always a writer. I love writing. That was my strongest subject.
Mhm.
Um, a lot of people even used to pay me to do their writing, essays and
Yeah.
stuff like that, athletes. But inside, yeah, we had TVs, but obviously we had to share and had to be on the same time and like other people, and
Right.
didn't have our own TV to just be,
Right.
a tablet to. Yeah, I was in the feds, by the way, so that's why it's everywhere is different. Some
Yeah.
places you have your own private TV, some people have tablets, but in the feds it don't.
Okay.
Um, so what happened was, um, reading was like the main thing in prison. Like everybody, just reading
Right.
urban books was like the biggest thing on the compound. Everybody used to fight over books. who's ordering books. Some people used to read how many books a day. Um, sorry. And it was just book fest in there. That's
Yeah.
all you could do. Like that's what we used to look forward to. That's why we used to wait, see what other book is coming out. Like it was is a big, big thing. So I read a lot of books by a lot of authors. And it just opened up my mind a bit more, especially when I used to read books that related to me in so many ways. Like
Right.
every book, it was something in there that related to me, even if
Right.
it's the smallest thing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I should write a story. I just started writing.
Okay. So did you
Mhm.
like take like notebook and paper? You kind of wrote it like out that way?
Comp- yeah, composition. That's exactly
Wow.
how I had to do a composition book. I wrote it out. I was at a point where even it's so funny. The other day I sent to my publisher Tina. Um, I found a composition book that I had. I used to write down all publishing companies
Okay.
in it, like, and it's right here still, right?
Wow.
And I literally have like all types of people, like
Yeah.
for pages of people
Wow.
I wanted to submit my manuscript to. And at a point I was even typing it out on the typewriter because we had a typewriter in there. And then I was like getting so just drained with that. And then I decided to type it on a computer, like messaging my sister or my mom, sending it to them. But it
Yeah.
was like it was eating up my minutes and my money on the computer because you had to pay,
Right.
and you only have a certain amount of time on the computer. It's like, okay, I have 30 minutes on the computer, and then I gotta wait a whole hour to get back on the computer. You
Right.
get what I'm saying? So it was just time consuming, money consuming that way, and I was just like, okay, maybe I should just send the whole composition book home. After a while, I said, you know what? I just want to do it myself,
Right.
and then it'll be hard to just be sending out to all these publishers and stuff like that. But I wrote all of them down, and good thing I actually didn't send it out
Right.
because I still had some work to do,
Yeah.
and I needed to make it a little longer because obviously the composition book isn't a full length,
Right.
for a novel. Yeah. So.
Okay, well that's motivation within itself, you know what I mean? Like I when I was so my background with writing is I used to write like I was always loved writing too. My mom, she wrote like poetry and I will find her little notebooks and then I do music and stuff. So I always like poetry. When I was like in the sixth grade, I won a full scholarship, a writing scholarship. So writing
Nice.
always been like a part of my background, but I used to
Mhm.
write like short stories because I used to read a lot. I'm like, man, I could write stories. I know I can. Like, so I used to write
Mhm.
short stories in notebooks and pass them out to my classroom, and people was going crazy. And my teacher, she was one of my biggest haters. I used to like fight a lot. I used to be in a gang. So
Mhm.
like my teachers knowing that, because I always was
Mhm.
spitting in school, she's like, you'll never be an author. Stop passing out them books and just pay attention in class. Like I'm like, man, whatever. I still pass them out. Then my dad had passed away. I never took it serious. My dad passed away when I was 19. He was like one of my biggest supporters. He used to tell me like, you really have talent. He used to find my notebooks and just like read them. Like, wow, you really wrote this. Like, you really have talent. So I
Mhm.
became an author. I just typed it up one day, just typed up my book, and then I sent it to like several people. I ended up signing to Kels Kimberly. She just was like we were around the same age. I like what she was
Mhm.
talking about, like just a dope. So how did you meet and your publisher? You decided this is who you want to go with. Can you take us like through the process of that?
Well, I was actually undecisive. I didn't know if I wanted to self-publish or go with a publishing company. I was going back and forth for a while because I've been
Okay.
home 2 years now. So, ended up getting pregnant with baby girl, and
Right.
I just left everything. I just was focusing on getting mentally prepared
Right.
to, be a mom, a first-time mom, and everything. But I was going back and forth, and then I reached out to one of my prison moms because
Okay.
she published a book and she even did a little, short film and stuff like that.
Okay.
And she was my bunkie in FEC. Shout out to Tracy. So I contacted her and I said, do you know any, really great editors? I need an editor to go over my book. She said, yeah, contact so and so and so. So she sent me this Instagram to Megan Joseph. It's called Joseph Editorial Services. So I contacted her, and then she asked me, she said, "Are you a first time, author?" I said, "Yeah." And then we started speaking and stuff like that. And she's like, "Well, I think you should go with a publisher, for your first time.
Yeah.
Just sign with them for a year or two, learn the game,
Mhm.
learn the ropes of everything, absorb all the knowledge you can, and then you could go out on your own. You need to build up your audience, your readers."
Right.
And what she was spitting was facts.
Right.
And I was like, okay. So then I decided to send her 3 chapters of my book.
Mhm.
She absolutely loved it. And then
Okay.
she's like, okay, so I have this person that I want you to, speak to
Okay.
and potentially sign with. And it was Tina. She's
Okay.
like, she's telling me all about her. She said, listen, she is the real deal.
Yeah.
She's there for her author. She go above and beyond. She gets the job done, and you will learn a lot from her. She's a #1 bestseller
Right.
herself. She has success in the game.
Right.
So, she's spitting, and I did my research. So I was like, okay, all right, cool. Because I contacted other people, other publishers
Yeah.
as well. Spoke to some. And when I spoke to Tina, finally we got connected over the phone. And the first time we spoke, it was just, I loved the vibe.
Mhm.
The vibe was there automatically.
Yeah.
I didn't have to talk to her 2, 3, 4 times. Like the first time I agreed to sign with her.
Yeah.
That's how, our connection it went really, really well. So once I signed with her, it was like the next day, not even the same day, we was already working on stuff the same time on the phone before I even physically signed my contract. We was
Right.
already getting to it,
Yeah.
working on titles, working on this, how we want the cover, um, like everything,
Yeah.
everything.
And that's
Yeah,
important. Just off rip for a publisher, for you just talk to her and her just coming with that type of energy, that is super great. That's like the same
yeah.
story with my publisher. The only publisher I ever signed to, like now I self
Hmm.
publish. I have my own publishing company now.
Nice.
But like,
Congrats. Hmm.
thank you. It was just how you said yours was. Like the vibes was right, the energy was right. Off rip, we
Hmm.
going over things. So that's super. Shout out to your publisher because it's not
Yes.
always great with publishers. So that's a good, especially for you to
Yeah.
be new. So,
Yeah, I heard a
um,
lot of stories, bad stories
yeah.
with publishers. Even my publisher went through it. Like a lot of stories, and that's why I was a bit scared in the
Mhm.
beginning, and I said, okay, maybe I should just self-publish.
Right. Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just did a interview with another author who kind of touched based on that. Just dealing with a publisher and lost several books, which is very heartbreaking. So I'm glad that you found someone who is authentic and the right
Yes.
person for you.
Mhm.
So I know that you said you started off like writing in notebooks, but of course you had to take that storyline that you wrote into a notebook and turn it into, like type it up on the laptop and everything. So how long did it take you to, you had to add more because of course it's just a notebook. How long was
Mhm.
your process of all that?
It didn't take too long because it's
Okay.
so funny. I was gonna try to rush out and get it out like Christmas time, right? It was like
Hmm.
the week before Christmas, and I was like, let me type this up and try to get it out. And that's when I spoke to Megan and spoke to Tina. I spoke to Tina after New Year's.
Okay.
She had already received my manuscript. I spoke to Megan already. This is before the New Year's hit. And I spoke to Tina January 3rd because I signed my contract the 4th.
Okay.
And I remember the date so well too because the 4th was the date in 2018 that I got sentenced
Okay.
in a federal courtroom.
Okay.
So it was like meaningful,
Right.
like, okay, I got
Exactly.
sentenced and now I'm signing, a contract with a
Right.
publishing company. So I was writing. She told me, she said, how long do you need? I said, no, you give me a deadline. She
Right.
gave me a deadline of the 23rd of January. I said, okay, cool. So I'm typing. And I was just so determined. I got it all typed out. Then I looked at the word count and I was like, hmm, you know? And then I said, yeah. So I had to do some adding
Yeah.
and fixing around. You know how that goes. And I got it done into her probably 2 weeks before the deadline.
Okay.
Like a
Okay.
week after or so I signed. Like a week, yeah, like probably a week after I signed in like 2 weeks. And she was like, "Oh gosh, okay, all right, like we
Right.
ain't playing," because she was on it. She already had the cover back to me within like a day,
Yeah.
like. So I'm like, okay, she got the cover. It pushed me more. I'm like, all right, let's do this. Let's do
Right.
this. Let's get it done. And the deadline turned into my release date, basically.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So it went quick.
Yeah.
Less than a month. Less than a month when I really like said, let me put my foot on this.
Right.
Like
Right.
yeah.
And especially
Mhm.
because if it's something that you really want to do, you got to be dedicated. Like, you get nowhere
Yeah.
without dedication. So just
Yeah.
already, like, talking to you is very inspiring to me. I've been an author for years. It's very, just to
Thank
know,
you.
like, what a little background of your story, like where you came
Mhm.
from, how you wrote the book in the notebook while being in prison, came home, typed it up, found a publisher,
Mhm.
which is very great. So say that there are like inspiring authors who wants to become authors, but they're like just holding themselves back from fear. What would be like your biggest advice to them?
Just do it. It's like
Right.
Nike. Just do it.
Right.
You know, like that is so simple. I won't say it's so simple because it's easier said than done as
Right.
well. Um, you got to put your fears away because the only person that's standing in your way is you.
Right.
Look in the mirror. It's only you.
Right.
Nobody else.
Yeah.
So you got to just like find it within yourself to say, you know what? Let me stop procrastinating, or let me stop being fearful and get this done.
I do want
Hmm.
to kind of touch base where you said like the date that you got sentenced is the date that you was. Did you say you signed your contract or your
I
release date?
signed.
You signed
I
your
signed.
contract.
Hmm.
So I just want to touch base how that is just so crazy because like the day that my father died, a year
Hmm.
later, I released my first book under my publishing company
Wow.
named after him. So like my publishing
Wow.
company as Walter's Legacy Presents, and on his 1 year death anniversary, I
Hmm.
released my very own book under the publishing
Good.
company name after him. So it's like good to
Right.
take those days that,
And
not so
turn
good
it
days and turn it into a positive. Like it's
absolutely.
very like motivational. And I also want to just like speak on how you said writing, you will feel it, how you will know how you're glowing after writing. And then you found writing during one of the hardest times of your life.
Yeah.
I actually stopped writing for about a year. I actually have a book that's about to come out on the 16th. But
Hmm.
the thing about it is, so my brother was just murdered, unfortunately. So like
Sorry to hear
it's
that.
been, thank you. It's been like very difficult. You know what I mean? To like write and to I just felt like I couldn't find it. But once I picked it up and it's like, let me put my pain into my pen. You know what I mean? Because that's what I'm good at.
Absolutely.
And
Yes.
it's just so crazy because
Yes.
it's like a release that it felt like I was just releasing it. Like writing is so important. Like it is
It's
just
therapeutic.
it's therapeutic. That's
It's
perfect way to
therapeutic
say it.
because, and it's like the more I write, and even if I didn't fully write out stories, I have a book full of books that I want to write and storylines I want to write. So it's like just
Right.
even jotting it down and knowing that I'm gonna get to it one day to really flourish, and bring it into fruition. It feels good.
It does.
It's like I'm letting things
It
out.
does.
It's
So let's talk about your book. So what's the name of your book?
my book is Sex, Scams, and Bricks.
Okay, I love the title. I love the
Thank you.
title. I actually went and downloaded your book. I haven't had the chance to start reading it yet because I've been like super
Hmm.
busy with interviews, but I am looking forward to it. When I seen the title, I'm like, this is my type of book. Okay. Like
Okay.
this is my type of, and then I read the little description about. So tell me about how you came up like with the title because I'm more of a, like I'm a title and cover. It has to pull me in. If I can't get with the title or the cover, and your book did that. So tell me like the process
Thank you.
of deciding with the title of your book.
It's so funny because that was not the original title.
Really?
It was not. When I was inside, I named it like Savage Love.
Okay.
I don't know why I was inside. Everything was savage, 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 savage,
Yeah.
savage, savage to me. And when I came home, I changed it to something else, to like Reap What You Sow. And I was just like playing around with the titles. And then obviously when I spoke to Tina and I was telling her, she was just like, "Yeah, girl, we're gonna have to figure out a new title."
Mhm.
She was like, we gotta get something that's gonna grab the attention. It's your first
Right.
book, so you wanna grab the reader's attention like off the rip.
Right.
So I was just playing around, writing down titles, and I said, you know what? Hmm, sex. There's a lot of sex in it. It's talking about scams,
Yeah.
and it's dealing with drugs too. Sex, scams, bricks.
Right.
Keep it simple,
It's it's simple.
So yeah, so that's exactly, what it was. And then the cover, I literally told her what I wanted the cover to be. Usually,
Right.
the graphic designer probably would just go off of whatever,
Right.
they
Yeah.
think, No,
Yeah.
Tina, I wanted this, that, and the third. She's sick of me. When it comes to even covers and all that shit, she is sick of me because I'm always, and I'll go back like, no, I don't like this. Oh, wait, can she do this? Or can she do that? Or whatever the case may be. But that girl on my cover is actually my friend, one of my like sisters.
Okay.
And I contacted her. I'm like, girl, I want to use you for my cover. She's like,
Mhm.
girl, no problem. I was like, how much you gonna charge me? She said, charge you.
Right. Right.
No, we don't do that
Yeah.
over here.
Right.
I said, okay. So, our publisher was like, okay, we just need legal documents. She
Yeah.
sent her whatever, boop, boop, boop. And yeah, we sent it to the
It's
graphic designer. I told her what kind of background, just make it like a city, get her up
yeah.
there, and boom, she sent that back. I was in awe.
Yeah,
I
that's so
loved it.
crazy that you speak on having your friend on your cover. Because this is like my first book under. I made a canvas of it, but this is like my little cousin. This is
Okay.
the first book under my publishing company. She was like, and this is my friend. They were like upcoming models in my city, and I was like,
Mhm.
my cousin really want to do modeling. Girl, it's not too many models who can say they've been on the cover of a book. So
Mhm.
let me put my cousin on real quick. Now she
Mhm.
just modeling all across the world, doing celebrity hair and
That's
makeup.
lit.
Like
That's
she
what's
is
up.
just beautiful in every single way. So I definitely can relate to you. Like everything that you're
Yes.
saying, like I can definitely
I feel
relate to
like
you.
we gotta put on each other,
Yeah.
And I had, even for my visuals for my book,
Mhm.
the characters, I hit up my homegirls.
Mhm.
All like my character visuals is my girls. I know them
Yep.
personally. Even
Yep.
one of the guys is my brother. Like he plays ball
Yeah.
or whatever the case may be. And I feel like moving forward, I have so many dope friends, that just look
Right.
good. Like I don't need one of them little models that y'all picking out of them.
Right.
Nah. Put my
Right.
friend on there. Or eventually
Facts.
when I feel, confident enough, put me on there.
Yeah. I
You
put me on
know?
the cover of a book, and I'm
Yeah,
gonna
so
do it
that's
again.
fine. Yeah, so that's exactly what my plans is gonna be. I'm putting my people. We're gonna
Right.
put our people on,
For sure. For
for
sure.
whatever reason.
Yeah.
Even writing their business or whatever in the book, that's what we're gonna do.
Exactly. So
So
important, and a lot of people don't think like that, but I just feel like it's enough money, it's enough opportunity, it's enough everything for all of us. You know what I mean? I'm real big on support. I love supporting,
yeah.
especially my black people. Like I love supporting
Mhm.
everybody, but especially my black people. Just being that
Yep.
we've always had it hard from
Yeah.
generations and generations. So just
Mhm.
for me to see anybody starting a business, working hard to put their people on, I just love it. I love support. And so can we get to talk about, not you don't gotta give away too much. Let's just talk about
Mhm.
like what motivated the character's name, the characters and things like that in your book.
Mhm. That's another thing. I had to change up the names too, girl. From the original, it's so funny because one of the guys' name was the main character name was King.
Okay.
And then when I signed with Tina, my pen sister, Sharice Carr, she
Mhm.
dropped her book on January 8th, and I'm reading it's Cane and Candy. That's the name of
Okay.
the book.
Yeah.
So I'm like, it's spelled the same way too with the K. So I
Yeah.
was like, okay,
Yeah.
let me go back and switch this. You know
Right.
what I mean? And then I told her, she's like, girl, well, you know how many characters have the same name? I
Mhm.
said, nah, let me just change it because it's like, okay, we under the same publishing company. It's like,
Right.
okay, the readers is just read about a cane, and then you're
Right.
gonna come read about another cane. It's
Right.
like it's just not a smart thing to do.
Yeah.
You know, you gotta strategize when it comes to stuff like
Yeah.
that. So I changed it, and that's his name. Well, his name is Hassan, and the female, her name is Mackenzie.
Okay.
And I don't know why I even picked that name. It just came to me. my niece name is Mackenzie. One of my prison sisters, and she's like a real life sister to me, Queen.
Yeah.
Her daughter name is Mackenzie, and I was like, oh, she'll love this.
Yeah.
You know, she'll love this. So I'll put that in there.
Having an experience like prison, unfortunately, do you ever feel like that will give you ideas for your storyline? Like,
Oh,
yeah,
future storyline?
yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah,
Like so many. Girl, you don't even know how much is in my brain. I wish I could just empty it out right now.
right,
It's just so much. Like, you
yeah,
know. But besides even prison, I went through a lot, like I said before. I experienced a lot, I saw a lot. My peoples went through a lot. You
hmm,
know I saw different stories and you know that I was a first hand witness to.
right,
And I just can't wait, and I think that was my purpose too, to write. You know, let
yeah,
me tell it. Yeah.
right.
Mhm.
So I know you're pretty new to being an author, but so far, what is the hardest thing you have encountered, like with being an author?
You know, right now Amazon is just
Yeah,
like
man,
not on our side, and I
yes,
think it would have to be when it comes to Amazon and like the
yeah,
rankings and stuff like that because the numbers my publisher showed me of just
yeah,
24 hours, um, it just didn't add up with the
yeah,
ranking. You know,
yeah,
not saying that I'm writing to be ranked,
right,
no, but you know, give credit when credit is due.
right,
Point blank period. Like you know, so when you know she even was upset about it, my team was, and I just felt a little discouraged. I
yeah,
did, you
yeah,
know, because I'm like, wow, like this is a banger, and it
yeah,
should have been getting recognized a bit more,
right. And
but
I
still.
definitely feel you on that because I had times where I felt, but I told myself, don't pay attention to that. You know what I mean? Because that will discourage you, and everything comes in the perfect timing. So, but I definitely feel you on Amazon is just on complete trash. I don't know what they got going on, but they are ridiculous right now. So as far as like if you had to tell a young girl who's coming like from a similar background as you, doing similar things, who may be watching this, who don't have a big sister, who don't have a mom she could call on, what would you tell her?
First of all, pray.
Right.
Pray to that man above.
Yes.
Um, Alhamdulillah.
Mhm.
I thank Allah for everything, for His mercy, His gracefulness, everything. Because without Him, nothing is possible. You know,
Nothing.
nothing. But with Him, everything is possible.
Everything.
So
Yes.
that's number one. Two, you have to, like I said before, even with writing, you gotta just like dig within yourself, you know, and pull out that bossness, that boss
Right.
lady, you know,
Right.
feeling this world is just cold. It's
Code.
cold no matter what. Even when you have a family and a support system and all that, you're gonna hit some roadblocks.
Mhm.
Everybody, nobody's
Everybody.
life is perfect. I don't care, even the richest people. Some of them
Mhm.
they're miserable. You know, everybody goes through something. That's why even with it's like you know how you feel like, oh, I'm going through this and I'm stressing, I'm that. Usually when I start to even feel like that or think like that, automatically I'm like, pretty no, because
Mhm.
there's somebody going through something worse.
Mhm.
You know what I
Mhm.
mean? So that's what
Exactly.
brings me back. Like,
Yeah.
listen,
Exactly.
you got
Exactly.
this.
Yeah.
It ain't the end of the world. I done been through some shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like it's not the end of the world.
Yeah.
But I would definitely tell them like they gotta grind for
Right.
themselves, not for
Yeah.
nobody else.
Yeah.
Grind for yourself.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and once you on and you good and you that's when you could help other people.
Right. Right.
You know, because if you're not doing well yourself, how you just gonna help somebody else? Just
Mhm.
like with love, if you can't love yourself properly, how you gonna love somebody else?
Right. Right.
You know.
And
So I'm learning that.
definitely,
I'm
definitely.
definitely learning that.
Yeah, I learned that too. Like, just like I said, like I lost my father, but recently, like with my brother and stuff, because like with my father, I was very sad because my dad, he was 39 when he passed away.
Young.
Just died in his sleep. You know what I mean? So I was very just hurt. But my brother, he
Wow.
was murdered. He was taken from me. So I was
It's a difference.
angry. It was just
Mhm.
like a different type of feeling. I will cry every day, but After I cried, I made sure to kept going. Like, I got my own shop now. Like, I was working super hard because I knew if I let that pain consume me, if I let that anger consume me, I will forever be stuck at the bottom. So I told myself, okay, it's okay. I'm going to cry today. I'm going to cry for however I'm going to let it hit me, and I'm going to wipe my tears, and I'm going to keep going. Because at the end of the day, we got to keep going. I'm going to pray, of course. Like, if it was not for God, I would not be here. So I definitely feel you 100% when you said pray first and everything you said. But like in this world and what's going on is a lot of people, like let's just say rappers for instance, it's a lot of like rappers who come into the industry, they're not really confident with themselves, they really don't love themselves, so people are able to easily persuade them. So if you had to give advice, or what would be your intake, how important is self-love and having confidence to you?
Oh, it's it's a lot, and like I said, I'm still learning, and I'm still, I'm listen, I'm not perfect. Nobody is.
Nobody.
And I'm only telling you what I practice. I preach what I practice what I preach. I'm one of those. And self-love is so important, especially to me, because you don't want to give anybody enough power over you to where they're able to snatch it away and then you're done.
Right.
Don't ever give anybody or anything, because people give things as well. I give other people power. They give things, that power over them, and it's like, okay, when they take it, what do you have left?
Right.
You get what I'm saying? So that's why I just, I'm learning that. I can't do that anymore, because I will send into depression. I'll be stressed. No. You're not about to have that. No.
Yeah. And it's the same. It's definitely the same with me. It took so much time and energy, but what really made me like really find out the importance of self-love and having confidence is I was with someone, we were together for like almost 10 years. And when he left, I felt myself being really sad when we broke up. Like, I was really sad. And then I was like, how dare I let someone else be the reason of my happiness? You know what I mean? Like, there should be no reason that I am sad, I am feeling miserable, I am feeling all this because he's no longer in my life. So it's like, you got to step back. You got to really reevaluate yourself and love yourself. Because if you don't love yourself, nobody else will. You love yourself the most, you know what I mean? So I definitely agree with you 100%, and I hope a young girl is watching and can hear that. But what sign are you?
A Pisces. My birthday is actually coming up.
Okay, happy early birthday. That's crazy, because I actually do get along with Pisces really good. Your energy is really great, so that's what made me
thank you.
I'm a Scorpio, so that's what really
I like female Scorpios. I do, because she's a Scorpio and her dad is a Scorpio.
Oh, yes. The dad. Yeah.
The dad. The male Scorpio.
The males.
Listen, I'm going to write me a book, Surviving
a Scorpio. As you should. You should. When's your daughter's birthday?
November 16th.
Okay.
And her dad is October 28th.
Okay, yeah. And then them October Scorpios are built a little different from the November Scorpios. My brother is a October Scorpio. Yeah. I dated a Scorpio. Never again. I'm just gonna leave that. Matter of fact, we need to collab on that book, Surviving a Scorpio.
We can do that.
Yeah, because it's a lot. It is a lot to deal with. But it's been like a blessing talking to you. You definitely have great energy. You are very inspirational. Is there anything that you want to like tell people? Any like final words to the people?
Just thank you to all my supporters thus far, from people since I was a baby coming out of my mama's womb to this day, for while I was in prison, I was down, everybody, to my new readers, my new supporters. Like, I just appreciate the love. I appreciate my whole team at Tina J Presents. I appreciate my publisher, of course, Tina J, my editor, Megan. Before everybody, I'm sorry, y'all. Allah.
Yeah.
I'm just grateful and I'm filled with joy right now, and I just want this to continue.
Yeah.
So, everybody just continue to rock with me,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna pen some
Yeah.
dope stuff.
Well, you got to forever support it with me. So I definitely support you. It's very inspirational to hear your story. I'm definitely looking forward to reading your book.
Yes, I gotta read some of yours as well. That's all I do reading right now.
Yeah.
My boyfriend, he be like, so that's all you're gonna do?
Yeah.
Is right.
Yeah.
And read. I'm like, listen, boy, as long as your house,
Mm-hmm.
our house is clean,
right,
everything's put away, we ate.
Right. Everybody
That's
knows
it.
do not bother me when I'm reading. Please leave me alone. Like, I be having, like, it seems like I have headphones in because I can't hear nothing. And then that's the thing about authors. People I feel like sometimes don't give authors enough credit because you're not hearing no voice. You're not seeing nothing. You're just reading words. And for an author to be able to grab someone's attention just off of words, like, that's a true talent. People don't understand. Yep. That's a true talent. I definitely appreciate you doing this with me. I'm super proud of you. I know I just met you, but just hearing everything.
I appreciate it.
Super proud of you. I know great things is in your future. And thank you so very much for sitting down.
And
you're welcome.
And thanks for having me. Thank
you're
you
welcome.
for not even hesitating. As soon as we spoke, you're like, listen, boop boop boop, send me a picture. I got you. Like, I got to get you on the show. Like, that's what's up. Supporting fellow authors and entrepreneurs and stuff like that. Like, you're gonna go far. You're gonna go far as well. Continue with the mindset that you have.
Thank you.
And keep pushing forward because your dad is looking down. He's happy.
Thank you so much.
I have a lot of people in heaven right now too, looking down happy and proud of me, and so we got to do it for them.
That's exactly right.
Do it for them.
That's exactly right.
And I do it for her.
So much.
Everything.
Yeah. I don't have any kids. I'm 25. I don't have any kids, but I have a lot of siblings. It's a lot of us. And I'm like, on my mom's side, my dad, he has a lot of kids. But on my mom's side, I'm the oldest. And I just felt like that was the best birth control ever because, like, I have a lot of nieces and nephews. And, oh, my goodness, I love giving them back. I'd be like, here you go. Take them back. Like,
that's how I used to be. I used to be, honestly. That's exactly how I used to be. I used to have all these, I got super nieces and nephews and god kids, but it was time. When is the right time, God will let you, allow you to have, it's all time and there's no rush at all.
At all.
There's none.
Yeah, I'm not rushing. Well, thank you again.
Yes, thank you again, love.
No problem. Have a nice evening.